Yo, have you heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast Wrestling Edition. Today, we are previewing Money in the Bank that's taken place July 19th, 2020, July 18th, 2021. This Sunday with live fans, live audience. Thunderdome era is over. And for this type of big episode, we have first our wrestling expert, Jacob Mason. How you doing today, sir?
I'm fantastic, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. And then since it's a bigger episode, Byron had to swoop in here. The captain, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back on the wrestling episode.
Yeah, because you haven't been back since what, WrestleMania?
Yeah, WrestleMania was my last wrestling podcast.
Well, I mean, we got Money in the Bank this month. We got SummerSlam next month. Like, there's some big things happening. So the majority of this episode is we're going to be previewing Money in the Bank, all the matches, who we want to win and who we think is going to win, and then we're going to talk about some other things. Obviously the passing of Paul Orndorff, rest in peace, Mr. Wonderful.
Rest in peace.
And then just chopping it up on some wrestling things that's been going on. But let's hop right into Money in the Bank this Sunday, July 18th on Peacock. It's going to be in Fort Worth, Texas, out of that Thunderdome. And before we go into this, Jacob, I'm going to start with you, man. Thunderdome era is over. Like, how did you feel about it now being over? What do you think its legacy is?
So if we talk back to like I forget which episode it was. Might have been like the end of the year podcast or whatever it was. Man, the Thunderdome, I think the WWE made the best out of a shit situation. And I said it was one of my favorite things when we did the end of the year podcast. And I honestly, for what it was, I think they did great. I am so happy it's over though now because I'm sick of that shit. So that being said,
Byron, how do you feel about the Thunderdome era and what it did and now it being over?
Like Jacob said, I'm happy it's over. I'm glad live fans are back because you get to really see who the fans are invested in. Like, we know who we're invested in, but it's going to be good to see like who everyone else is invested in, who gets cheered, who gets booed. But I think WWE did the best of what was given to them. So I think the Thunderdome era was great for the time and the season it was in.
I agree. But yeah, let's hop right into Money in the Bank, man. This pay-per-view is big because this is gonna affect what's gonna be happening at SummerSlam. And SummerSlam, they're making a very big show. That's even gonna be on a Saturday in Las Vegas. But let's go through these matches and do what we do, gentlemen. Let's start off with AJ Styles and Omos, the champs, going against the Viking Raiders for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship. Byron, I'm going to start with you. What are you expecting in this match, and who do you think is going to come out on top?
I think it's going to be a very entertaining match. I hope Omos gets to wrestle more than he has been wrestling. I think AJ and Omos will come out on top. Because I think the storyline is going to be whenever Randy Orton comes back, him and Riddle will take it from them at SummerSlam.
Jacob, what do you think about this match?
I think it's going to be a good match. But Viking Raiders, War Machine, whatever the hell they're going as this week. They're always entertaining to watch. And I want the Viking Raiders to win because I'm sick of this dumb tag team between Omos and AJ. But I think Byron hit it on the head. It's going to be RK Bro is going to end up taking it from him. So it's probably going to be AJ and Omos taking it.
I agree with you guys. I think they're saving up for RK Bro. That they'll take it at SummerSlam when Randy comes back. But let's go to our top podcast favorite people. Singles match for the Raw Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley versus the second greatest women's wrestler in history by WWE Network, Charlotte Flair. Jacob, and you called, again, man, I always got to give you props on this because you called this right on the head at WrestleMania. That's been in this round roulette of Rhea versus Charlotte, Rhea versus Asuka at these pay-per-views, and now we have Rhea versus Charlotte again. What is going to happen in this one?
What happened on the last one? Didn't it end in a DQ or something?
Rhea got herself DQ'd, yeah.
Rhea got DQ'd. You know what? I think Charlotte's going to get DQ'd on this one. We're going to keep it going. That's my prediction for what it's worth. God, I'm so sick of this storyline, but I'm so sick of it, but I love being right. So I'm not sure whether I want it to just keep going or I just want it to end. It's a double-edged sword for me.
So you got Charlotte DQing, herself so that it goes on again at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it'll be a DQ or a count out or some dumb shit like that. It won't be a definitive finish.
Byron, we know this is very touchy for you because it involves Charlotte Flair. What do you think is going to happen in this match?
Jacob is probably right. Charlotte is probably going to get herself DQ'd, but I'm going to say it's going to be a definitive finish and Rhea's going to win.
Whoa.
Wow. Bold statement.
What is making you say that? I'm not getting any indications of that.
One, because I hate Charlotte. Two, because it just needs to end. Rhea needs to fight someone else at SummerSlam. I am tired of this whole let's only have 3 people compete for the Raw Women's Championship since the beginning of 2021. Feels like forever. I just need the storyline to be done.
And we're saving these for the last two, the Money in the Bank, but could we get a cash in tonight? I mean, that night.
If Asuka wins, then yes.
If who wins?
If Asuka wins.
Oh, Jesus, Jacob. He just won last year.
Yeah, well, she's in this really good, round robin 3-way storyline. So, keep it going. It's WWE logic. So take anything that makes sense, chuck it out the door, and there's Vince McMahon logic.
He does have a point. He really does.
So you think if Asuka wins, she's going to cash in that night?
Yeah, go for it. Why not? And if not, have her cash in at SummerSlam. Don't let this party stop. You keep it going.
Oh man, I'm going with Jacob right now. I think Charlotte's going to DQ herself, which means Rhea would win. And then they would have one more. I think they would have a no rules, falls count anywhere. There has to be a winner type match at SummerSlam to end it.
If that happens, who's going to win, right?
Oh, I'm already going to put down Charlotte's going to win. And that would be her 12th Raw SmackDown Women's Championship. Not that bullshit 13th they got up there. Counting her NXT title. I still do not get that, why she gets her thing. I'm going to rant about it every time, but it would be her 12th title on the main roster, 14th overall. So, all right. Let's go. So we're going to stay on Raw. We got Bobby Lashley champ with MVP versus Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods. Jacob, did you catch Raw by any chance on Monday?
No. I haven't watched Raw for like 2 or 3 weeks now because I'm so pissed off at Vince McMahon's logic. Where I'll just catch the highlights right now, so that's all I've been doing.
Well, this is gonna piss you off more because out of freaking nowhere, which made zero sense, Xavier Woods roll up pin Bobby Lashley on Raw.
Makes sense.
And I guess was for Bobby Lashley to get mad at MVP and all that. It makes no sense because I even saw a tweet. Could you imagine Roman just randomly getting pinned on SmackDown or Kenny getting randomly pinned on AEW? It makes no freaking sense. This shows what Raw has been a dumpster. But
I did see where he took out the MVP lounge or with the VIP
oh yeah, he
lounge.
destroyed. That was when he picked up the couch, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So did he turn on MVP or is he still buddies with MVP or
From what it looked like, they're still buddies, but there's like tension between them. So you never know.
He basically is like, yeah, this party and the hoes, they gotta stop. We gotta get back to business.
okay. All right.
But I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't see Kofi surviving this one. I think Bobby Lashley's gonna destroy him. I don't know who Bobby's wrestling at SummerSlam, but I think Bobby beats Kofi in this one. What do you think, Jacob?
Well, fun fact, Vegas, this is the most lopsided bet that Vegas has for Money in the Bank.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bobby Lashley is like a negative 1,000 favorite right now.
Ooh.
And Kofi is a plus 525 underdog. So
if you
I'm gonna take the old Vegas odds there and bet on Bobby Lashley to win this because it would make no sense for Kofi to win.
No, Byron, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a great match between Bobby and Kofi, but I also have Bobby winning because it would make no sense for him to lose his championship right now. But again, it's WWE logic, so you never know. But I'm going to pick Bobby.
Also, because these two matches getting moved to SmackDown because SmackDown actually is going to have fans. Bianca Belair, who's going against Carmella, for people who don't know, Bayley got hurt basically at a freak accident at practice, and she's going to be out for 9 months. So that's a huge blow for the women's roster at SmackDown in general. And I was just like, so who's going to replace her? And we got Carmella. So just quickly on that, Carmella versus Bianca Belair live on Friday, fans and all. Who do y'all got? I mean, I got Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca all day, every day. There's literally no reason at all why Carmella should win this.
Byron.
I also have Bianca winning. Again, makes no sense for her to lose her championship right now to Carmella. I think they shouldn't have put this on SmackDown. I think they still should have kept it at Money in the Bank because literally Bianca Belair just won an ESPY. So why does she have to get moved to SmackDown? But that's just me. I think they should have kept this at Money in the Bank, but Bianca's still going to win.
Well, I think they moved it to that because of who she's going against. I mean, when they said a suitable, like, we'll have a championship caliber person, I'm like, who the hell is... I was like, there's only like 4 other women on par with Bayley. And when I picked Carmella, I was just like, oh, this is a wash.
They probably only said championships caliber because she's won a championship before.
She hasn't won a championship since Chin Man left.
I'm just saying she was a SmackDown Women's Champion. That's all I'm saying.
Listen, that Chin Man has a name, and it is James Ellsworth. Put some respect on the name.
You know, he has respect. I mean, he had to get himself cleared when he was having those rumors sending those pictures to those girls. So,
oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that. Take the respect off his name. Piss off.
I was like, come on now. Come on now.
That.
But yeah, they also, what else got moved? There was something else that got moved to SmackDown as well, wasn't there? Oh, the SmackDown Women's Tag Team Champs, they're not even on the card.
Well, that's because Natty's in the Money in the Bank Championship, man.
That is true. That is true. But before we go,
man, not the women's tag team championship. Oh no, what will I do with my life? I won't see Tamina on a pay-per-view? Shit.
she'll be there just in the background. But before we go into those Money in the Bank matches, I feel like that's the one I'm most time. But last singles match on the main Money in the Bank. Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman versus Edge. Singles match for the WWE Universal Championship. Edge came back out of nowhere after, all the people got fired. And we're like, who's wrestling now? And Edge literally came back on Friday. And I was just spat my water out. I'm like, what the hell is this? And he's getting this match. Byron, how do you see this match going? Is there going to be more matches? Like, what do you see happening? And what percent do you give of Edge pulling off the impossible?
First, I'm going to give Edge a 10% chance to win. I think Roman wins this handily. This is the match I'm looking forward to the most at Money in the Bank, because I think this match is going to be absolute fire. The way Edge has came back unhinged, and his promos have also been fire. So I think this match is going to be very, very, very well. But I think Roman's going to win because there's no point in Edge winning. And I think they're trying to tease a Edge versus Seth Rollins SummerSlam match. So I think maybe Seth will interfere or something, but I think Roman's going to win, and then Edge is going to go face Seth at SummerSlam.
Any hint of a potential cash-in?
Maybe, but I don't think there would be a cash-in against Roman.
Jacob, what do you think about the Rated R Superstar versus the Tribal Chief? What percent are you giving Edge to pull off the impossible? Who you got winning? And why do you have Roman winning?
I'd give Edge about a 0.25% chance of winning. Not even a full percent. He got a 0.25%. Yeah, it's they'll, suspend disbelief. Edge is going to hit a spear or multiple spears. It's going to look amazing because Edge is going to go over, and then either the Usos will pull the ref, or the Usos are going to interfere, or I don't know, acknowledge your tribal chief. He's going to spear Edge like 37 times. Either way, Edge is going over. However he's going over, it's either going to be by some bullshit by the Usos, or tribal chief is just the tribal chief. Just acknowledge him and be done with it. I honestly, I think the match is going to be good, but at the same time, like, this match is predictable. Is your name Dwayne Johnson? Then what's the point? Dwayne's the only one who could possibly take the titles, and even then, I still don't think he's going to take the title. It's going to be whoever's after Dwayne. I rest my case. After Dwayne.
I mean, Roman's already about to be a year into the title reign, so it makes sense.
Insane.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I'm going Roman too. I don't think Roman's gonna win clean though. I do think Seth's gonna interfere, and then Edge is gonna be like, until I get rid of you, I can't go back after Roman. So I think that Edge versus Seth thing at SummerSlam could happen. And before we start talking about SummerSlam, we still got these Money in the Bank ladder matches, which they are going to have huge implications. Let's start off with the men because all of them are announced. We already have Seth Rollins in there, which I already think is a huge mistake. I don't understand why the hell Cesaro had to lose to Seth Rollins on SmackDown. I will never understand. We have Ricochet, John Morrison, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Big E, Kevin Owens, and now King Nakamura. Byron, there's a whole lot of names on here who really need the push to win this match. Who is someone you think needs to win this, and who are you going to pick to win this?
So I think they all need a push besides Seth And maybe John Morrison because he's still doing his stuff with the Miz.
What about Drew? I don't think Drew
doesn't
needs
need
it.
Yeah, Drew doesn't need a push either. So out of those three, I think Big E needs the biggest push because they broke up the New Day because they wanted Big E to go on a singles run, but they really haven't. I mean, he won the Intercontinental Championship, but he lost to Apollo Crews on some BS at WrestleMania. So I feel like he needs the biggest push out of the competitors. I'm struggling between him and possibly Kevin Owens winning, but I think I'm going to pick Big E.
Big E to win. Big E who gets the biggest push, and Big E to win.
Yep.
Okay. Jacob, what are you thinking about this one, man? Like, who do you think needs to win, and who do you think is gonna win?
Who needs to win is Ricochet. Out of all these guys, who is desperately needs a legitimate push? 100% Ricochet. No one even comes close because Ricochet has been absolutely used like trash since he got to the main roster. Shout out Vince and your stupid ass logic. That being said, will Ricochet win? No, because that could be a cool storyline or that could make sense. Take the sense, throw it out. No, ain't happening. Vince McMahon logic. I'm a little testy today, boys, with the whole just WWE, by the way, in case that's not obvious.
Let it out.
Oh, I know. I'm on the same page.
But who's going to get it? You watch. It'll probably be like Seth. It'll probably be something dumb like Seth will get it, which is stupid because it shouldn't be anyone on SmackDown. No one on Smack. Wait, is Ricochet on SmackDown or is he on Raw? Or is he on main event?
He's on Raw.
Oh, okay.
He's on main event.
Oh,
wow. Well,
I calls it as I sees it. Who needs to push the most? I don't know. The guy's been on main event the most over the past year. But yeah, no one on SmackDown should get it because it's Roman. You're not going to be pushing that storyline with Roman as tribal chief. You're not. It doesn't make any sense. You're not Dwayne the Rock Johnson. You're not beating Roman. It's not a chance. So don't even bother doing that. If someone from SmackDown gets it, I'll be legitimately pissed. At least with Raw, you can entertain the idea of someone actually making a legitimate cash in and not some bullshit like we seen last year with my poor boy Otis and his entire bullshit crusade of whatever the hell that was. So Ricochet needs it the most, but it's probably going to be Seth. I wouldn't mind seeing Kevin Owens get it, but I'm a mark for Kevin Owens, so it is what it is.
See, that's Seth. You said Ricochet needs the most, and Seth's gonna win. Jacob, you know you're my guy, but honestly, I think I do agree with Ricochet. But man, if I think now is the time to finally right some freaking wrongs, I think Nakamura needs to win. This is a guy who came in from NXT, the top of the top, all the momentum. He won that Royal Rumble and then went to shit. With the whole feud with AJ was a dud. Man has been in obscurity. He has this King Nakamura thing where he took the crown from Baron Corbin. But if you wanted to really make Nakamura again a top person, he can win the briefcase. And he doesn't need to cash in on Roman. You could transfer Nakamura to Raw, inject some energy into Raw and have him cash in on Bobby. Like, I just feel like this dude has been screwed over so many times. And the dude's a freaking rock star. If you don't remember the NXT TakeOver, when he debuted in Dallas against Sami freaking Zayn, that was one of the greatest wrestling spectacles of the past, 8 years. Like, that was wild. And when I saw that, I'm like, holy shit, this guy can be a top person. I picked him to win that Royal Rumble that he won. And then I was like, him and AJ, this is going to be magic. And they effed it all up. And then Nakamura was just giving him nut tap the rest of 3 months straight. So I think he needs to win. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to win. I actually think Drew McIntyre is going to win Money in the Bank. I think this will be his big moment that he didn't get when he won the championship at the Thunderdome because there was no fans. So this is his, hey, you never got to defend with no fans, so you get to win Money in the Bank in front of a whole bunch of fans. And he can hold it for a year because I'm only thinking that he told Roman he'll see him again. After that, that was the only time in Roman's reign where for a split second I thought Roman was going to lose. When Drew hit him with that second Claymore and the Usos came and saved him. So he can wait. Again, I'm with you. That if your name's not Johnson, then you're not going to beat him. But I think Drew's going to win. I want Nakamura to win and then do something.
Here's my thoughts with that. Let's say Nakamura wins.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to actually? And let's say he cashes in and successfully is the new Raw champion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going to use him right?
Well,
No,
I don't. They got the hype man with the guitar though. Who is sweet at the guitar?
Yeah. Oh, Rick Boogs. That's Rick Boogs is great.
No, I don't. I just feel like that'd be just. You want to get a pop, like with fans back? That's a pop.
that is true.
I'm just trying to think of what's going to get the biggest pop with fans back.
You're right. He probably would get the biggest pop, and it would right that WrestleMania wrong because they did rewrite Asuka's WrestleMania loss. She got championships, and Knock hasn't. So I mean, I would love if Knock won. I don't see Vince pushing Knock.
Because we know John Morrison is not winning. So that's
No.
out. Riddle, I'm sorry, he is not winning. If he wins, I'm going to be so mad on the review. I might need 30 minutes to myself. But
I would legit be okay if he won. I wouldn't complain about it. I would, if anything, he would cash it in for like the tag team titles for him and like Randy.
Riddle would lose his thing like your boy did last year.
I know.
Even though, shout out to Riddle, that girl dropped the lawsuit against him today. If you didn't hear that, so
She did.
yeah, I mean the only wrestler who could have sexual assault cases and get a push, crazy.
Yeah.
Life's good for him. And the only wrestler whose wife can talk shit about the top women in the company. And Seth Rollins says, I never want to work with him again. Obviously, something changed because you're in the match with him, Kobe Lopez, a.k.a. Seth Rollins. Yeah, calling you by your real name.
His real name. Oh, damn.
But anytime he does a match with Riddle, this is the second one he's had since he said that.
Mm-hmm.
It's always when there's multiple other people in the match.
That is true. I'll give it that. They do not do one-on-ones because Seth you don't rock with him.
They won't. I would bet $5 right now that they won't even throw a punch at each other.
Probably won't.
It's going to be real interesting to see because that's why I thought about that too. Like, is Seth and Riddle going to have an interaction at Money in the Bank? Because they don't. Well, Seth doesn't mess with Riddle like that.
Oh, at all. No, he does not. But that one's interesting. Which more interesting is this woman one. You got Asuka versus Naomi versus Alexa Bliss versus now Nikki Ash versus Liv Morgan versus Selena Vega, who is back if you guys did not know, versus Natalya versus TBD, to be determined. Byron, I know we talked about this Monday. Who is the to be determined person? And do you think it's Becky Lynch?
I would love if it was Becky Lynch because as we all know, I'm a Becky Lynch stan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it will be her. I saw a rumor on Twitter before we started this podcast that there are talks of Sonya Deville maybe potentially being that TBD because they have been wanting her to come back and wrestle since she came back on SmackDown as the authority figure.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it will be her, but I don't think it will be Becky Lynch. Now, if you want a big pop, have Becky Lynch come back. I just don't think it will be her yet.
Jacob, who do you think TBD is?
I think it's going to be Eva Marie, and therefore it's going to be Dewdrop.
Oh Lord. Oh no. We almost went 30 plus minutes without the mention.
No, yeah. I mean, I said this on the last podcast, and I'm sticking to it. I think it's going to be some dumb shit and some stupid cheap heat, which is all Eva Marie's gimmick is. So watch, it's going to be Dewdrop. You watch.
I think because Courtney said it too, for the big pop, it has to be Becky Lynch. If it's for the biggest pop possible, maybe of the night, you have her come back, you have her win. She integrates herself into Jacob's storyline of Rhea and Charlotte. But the thing is, now with Bayley down, she's probably going to go to SmackDown because, I mean, Sasha Banks still has time off. And you look at SmackDown's women, be honest, Bianca Belair and Carmella. Like, that ain't it, Chief. So, but the bad thing is, Eva Marie had the nerve to call Alexa Bliss an up-and-comer in the company. So, yeah. I could see it being Eva. But then again, if you want heat, if you want booze, then Jacob's right. It has to be Eva. If you want that, if you want nuclear heat, it has to be Eva. But Jacob, for this one, depending on who TBD is, who do you think needs to win and who's going to win?
You know, I'm going to throw in another possibility because we also haven't mentioned her yet this podcast.
Here it comes.
Could it possibly be Tessa Blanchard as a TBD?
That's another one we've been calling for.
I can't even say 2 years. We haven't even here. But we've been calling it for like ever.
I mean, the chances are slim to none, but I feel like we just have to, like, you know, sprinkle it in like parsley. So, you know, we have to make sure we got our Tessa talks in.
I wish Tessa would talk to Mom and Pop Podcast because we need to know why she doesn't have a job.
Yeah, I want to know why she walked out. Like, just like, was it that bad? Like, was your job that bad that you just had to walk out on a championship match?
But nobody wants to hire her now.
Right.
I mean, I'll throw her like $50 just to come on the podcast. I'll hire her.
I think 50 is way. Well, I don't know. She's unemployed now, so I can't even say 50% is low. I mean, she's still probably getting unemployment checks from COVID. Shit.
Well, possibly.
But that's a good one on Tessa. I mean, that's a. Where's she from?
Somewhere in the USA.
I mean, if she's from Texas, that'd be perfect.
Well, let's find out.
But while Byron's finding out,
Captain's on it.
Jacob, who do you think needs to win, man, and who do you think is going to win?
Who do I think needs to win? I don't know. I think it'd be cool to see Liv Morgan win.
Mm-hmm.
I think her going over. I think that'd be really cool. Because I think she needs it the most, even with Thea Trinidad. What's her name?
Zelina Vega.
Yes, Zelina Vega. Even with Zelina Vega coming back, she's got. I mean, everyone's talking about her. She doesn't need that push right now. She's getting all the talk. So I would like to see Liv Morgan. Do I think she's going to win? No. Is it probably going to be Asuka? Most likely. Just to keep the round robin going and or Dewdrop. So, hey, I both of you, take your logic, throw it out the window. Vince McMahon logic. Let's go.
Byron, who do you think needs to win and who do you have going to win?
Needs to win. Two people need to win. First off, Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Second, Alexa Bliss.
Oh,
That would also be good.
Alexa Bliss needs to win because she hasn't held a championship in like 5-6 years, something like that. And this character is not really working out for me. She did the whole Fiend thing at WrestleMania, which made no sense, and then they tried to push her, I guess, and that really hasn't worked out. I mean, she has her little playground thing that's entertaining, but I think they just need to give her back to the old Alexa Bliss character. But I think she does need to win if they want to make this character legitimate. I think she needs a big win, and what a bigger win than Money in the Bank, and then cashing in for the championship. So those are the two I think that need to win the most. Who's probably going to win? Because Vince Logic is probably Asuka. But I am going to say that Liv and Alexa need to win the most, and Asuka will win.
Okay. So who needs to win? Liv Morgan needs to win. She has been on this whole storyline of being doubted and beating the people that Sonya has put in front of her who are in the match who didn't have to earn qualifying matches, which that makes no sense either. This would be the biggest moment in Liv Morgan's career after losing her whole Riot Squad sisters to win this Money in the Bank. You are guaranteeing yourself a big pop. I agree with Alexa Bliss because it's time, damn it. I mean, you want to talk about championships, Byron? She has not held a singles championship since Ronda whooped her ass at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that was like 5 years ago.
Because they main evented WrestleMania 35, Ronda, but she held that belt for from that SummerSlam all the way to WrestleMania. That was the last time, even though Alexa Bliss won that Money in the Bank, cashed in, saved wrestling because Nia Jax and Ronda were fighting. Thank God. And she got the ass whooping of ass whoopings against Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam that year. And she hasn't held a singles title since. So I think it's time. Asuka, I mean, everyone knows I love Asuka. I think she's one of the top 4 women wrestlers ever. But she is. You want to throw real Vince Logic, Jacob? Vince Logic will be Naomi winning because, hey, I saw you had to deactivate your Twitter because people were blaming you for your husband's drink. So here's a Money in the Bank brief.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, that just happened.
That's Vince Logic.
Oh shit. You know, can I interject here?
Mm-hmm.
Something just popped into my mind. So the captain quoted here, Alexa Bliss is a possibility, which very well would be very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But hear me out here. What if we all right, let's do a little fantasy booking here. So Alexa Bliss wins.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, holds on to it. And Alexa Bliss eventually goes to cash in.
Mm-hmm.
What if the Fiend returns, hits her with a Sister Abigail, screws her out of that, and somehow pulls her powers, and she goes back to being regular, Harley Quinn, Alexa Bliss, and we got the Fiend back, and he screws her over because she screwed him over, which I'd actually be cool with.
I would be very cool with that.
That would be cool.
Since we made that and it made sense, it ain't happening. So anyway.
I know. It's that logic. To throw it out the window. Freaking Vince McMahon over here.
We talked about people who need to win. Neither of us. Nikki Cross is someone. Remember, she had that fire promo before WrestleMania and just went to poo. But she's someone who potentially needs to win too.
No, she needs to lose this stupid ass gimmick.
Well, yeah.
Well, Jacob took the words out of my mouth.
I mean, I would love for Liv to win, but right now looking at the names, I think it's Alexa Bliss, and I think it's going to be TBD. I didn't even think about potentially bringing the old Shayna Baszler back, the one who was the destroyer.
See, I thought about that too. Why is she not in the match?
That tag team,
that much backstage heat that she can't even compete for a Money in the Bank championship match? What is going on with Shayna Baszler? She should be in this match over Natty. No offense to Natty, but Shayna should be in this match.
Man, Natty's a placeholder at this time in her life. We all know this.
I know this.
She's a $1 pick.
Oh,
Wow. We're gonna bring that back up. Wow.
No, I'm just quoting Fox on or SmackDown on Fox. That's all I'm doing.
Oh my gosh, those were good times. Those were. I just don't understand why they were so mad. Like they do it with guys all the damn time. He was just mad. She's like, this one point cannot do my worst, blah blah blah. And see, if Natalia lived where my parents used to live, they would have sat you down and be like, all right, so who are you better than on this list? And tell me how you're better than him. You better than Charlotte? No. You better than Becky right now? No. Sasha? No. Bailey? No. Asuka? No. You better than Carly Lee Ray? Give her some respect? No. So who are you better than right now? Rhea Ripley? No. Bianca? Man, that's 8 people. So how are you 5 points?
Well, okay. Would you rather be worth $1 or be called Dewdrop?
$1.
$1.
Exactly. I'll take out $1 all day.
I know you guys talked about this on the podcast, and I wasn't on there, but Dewdrop is a terrible fucking name. Whoever said, "Hey, you know what? We should call Piper Niven because she coming from NXT UK. Let's call her a Dewdrop. Should be fired and replaced with someone better."
You know what? Yeah, because I think Liv needs to win. We all said it. But I'm picking Alexa Bliss or TBD. Whoever's TBD, do not suck. Because I'm going to be embarrassed. I swear if TBD is like, oh, I don't even know who the hell would be so cool that would come
Tamina.
back. Oh, I would
have a full tag team in there.
Oh yeah.
I would rant so long that we probably wouldn't be able to cover the other matches in the review. But Alexa Bliss or TBD, but Liv Morgan, do it for the podcast. You have fans over here.
Podcast. Also, I looked up, and Tessa Blanchard is from the Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, dang!
Oh,
She was born.
Battle for the Queens.
She was born in Charlotte's house. That's rough.
Yep.
Man, she's always going to be second fiddle in wrestling to the whole family. That's crazy.
Dang. Even her dad, Tully, was kind of second fiddle to Ric Flair.
Facts.
That's wild. But yeah. So that's Money in the Bank. I mean, I'm excited because this is going to be a shit show, and I'm here for it because we already know like 3 of these matches are going to piss me off. So like.
Well, I know which one's going to piss me off the most.
Oh well, if Charlotte wins clean, good God, people, we might have to do the review live because Byron will be hot.
I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a great competitor. She just doesn't need to win. She just doesn't need to win.
Well, you know, if she wins, it's going to be okay. And here's why, Captain. It's because you're going to have. You already know what she's going to do for the next 4 months. She's going to feud with Rhea Ripley. You're good. You're getting the same product no matter what. Just people are holding the titles. Just different title. Different hands, same time.
Well, I think Becky's coming back because the last picture that was just shown of her was her work. I think she's coming back soon. It might be this Sunday. Then that shit's going to change. But Bayley being out for 9 months messes up a lot of shit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think she goes to SmackDown because Bayley's out.
Yeah. It was a very unfortunate injury, and the timing sucks.
Yeah, that's when they're never good with that. Before we talk about some other things, Jacob, I don't know if you saw SmackDown, but both Usos were there, especially the one who just came off his DUI. I don't know if that was a good look.
Yeah, I seen that. Rumor has it The Rock was behind that. Dwayne was pushing that, which once again, hey, what Dwayne wants, Dwayne gets.
That's why Nia Jax is still with the company because
That's why Naomi had to delete her Twitter because they said he's drinking because of you. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I saw the tweet where it was like, yeah, he's drinking because of you, and then someone replied, he's like, oh, good job, buddy, because she should just go ahead and commit suicide. I was like, whoa, that's not cool, buddy.
That's what makes us wrestling fans look like shitheads.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I did not know any of this. I'm learning it here on the L7C.
Yeah, that's why her Twitter's deleted now. It's like I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, what made me investigate because someone said it was Mia Yim. She's like, "We love you, Naomi." I was like, "This is strange. What's going on with Naomi?" So I clicked on her profile. Said, "Delete it." I was like, "Okay." So then I searched Twitter, and I think it was Ringside News said, "Oh yeah, Naomi deleted her Twitter because of this." I was like, "Oh damn, that sucks."
With Uso, I just don't understand. I was like, bro, you're rich. How do you not just get an Uber or have a personal driver?
Exactly.
That's all. That's just stupidity on his part.
Taxi, Uber, Lyft. There are so many apps. There are
Carriage,
yep.
Private Jet. Shit.
Yep.
Figure it out.
So many apps. You're created so drunk people do not have to drink and drive. You say, you know what? I'm okay. I'm going to drink and I'm going to drive. Like, bro, where was your crew at? Said, nah, bro, that's not a good idea.
And here's the problem. If it was anyone else in a lesser storyline, we wouldn't see them.
Oh, no.
The Usos have done this before multiple times, and they'll be gone for months on end. Jeff Hardy did this multiple times for months on end. We wouldn't see him. So I'm sorry. I don't give a shit if it's Dwayne or not. It's bullshit. I'll just go ahead and call it.
I agree. It was wild seeing both of them on Friday. I was like, weren't you in jail? Like, I was just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, they were both there. Both of them. And I just said, wow. Okay. Before we go go ahead, Byron.
You know they're probably about to get a tag team push. You can just already see it's coming.
Oh yeah. I mean, whatchamacallit, was it Jimmy who won? No, Jay, who won Andre the Giant Battle Memorial at WrestleMania. We call it that. I mean,
yeah, Jay, because Jimmy was injured. You know, I also think it's funny. Jimmy came back and said, "You know what? I'm nobody's bitch, but now it's Roman's bitch."
That's what Ed
said. You know, that makes sense.
That's what Ed said. Well, I want to shift from them, and we'll go back to Roman too, talk about a little bit of SummerSlam later. But I want to shift to today because today, I mean, it's literally the 6-year anniversary of the start of the women's evolution where Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha debuted on Raw, which is crazy that it's been 6 years. And in this 6-year time, I just want to read off, and I'm going to count Bayley in this too, because Bayley was the champ in NXT holding it down, having matches of the year. But I just want to read off these people's resumes in the 6 years they've been on the roster. So Becky Lynch, who probably has the least titles, she's a 1-time Raw Women's Champ, 3-time SmackDown Women's Champ, 2019 Royal Rumble winner, and I don't count the WWE end of years. They're fake. They're no real people voting. They just pick the people there. But that's in 6 years. So she is a 4-time champ in 6 years. And remember, she had a dead period from when she first got debuted to when she became the man. She had a dead period.
Also, she held the Raw Women's Championship for over a year.
Yeah. Yes, she did. Then you have Bayley, 1-time Raw Women's Champ, 2-time SmackDown Women's Champ, longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champ ever, 2-time Women's Tag Team Champ, Money in the Bank winner, first Women's Triple Crown, first Women's Grand Slam, and then she had her NXT stuff, obviously. And that's in 6 years. Then you have Sasha Banks, 5-time Raw Women's Champ, 1-time SmackDown Champ, 2-time Tag Champ with Bayley, 4th Triple Crown, 3rd Women's Grand Slam. And then you have Charlotte, who she got an extra NXT championship in this 6 years, because remember, she beat Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, so she got one of those in the 6 years. 1-time Divas champ, the last Diva champ, 4-time Raw Women's champ, 5-time SmackDown champ, Women's Tag Team champion with Asuka, 5th Triple Crown, 4th Grand Slam, Royal Rumble winner in 2020. When you think about these four and just hearing those accomplishments, Byron, what's the first thing you think about these 4 horsewomen.
I mean, they're all very talented. Don't get me wrong, even though, I hate one of them. They're all very talented. They put on amazing matches. Like I said, one of my favorite Charlotte matches was her against Ronda Rousey.
Absolutely.
Absolute barn burner classic, whatever you want to call it. It was a great match. Obviously, Sasha and Bayley have had their great matches. Becky also main evented WrestleMania with Charlotte. So they are an amazing group of women, and they deserve, all the accolades that they have so far. And I'm glad that 6 years ago they finally decided to give Divas a chance and just set the women's wrestling world on fire.
Give Divas a chance. Shout out to AJ Lee for tweeting that hashtag back in the day. Jacob, when you hear those 4's resumes, 6-year time frame, what do you think?
I mean, they've done shit that you wouldn't think would have even been possible, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've changed the game. They've completely changed the game, and for the better. That being said, I'm so sick of seeing these 4. Please give me someone new. Shout out Bianca Belair.
I mean, we talked about it back in Survivor Series when who said Bianca needs to win that Rumble, and she did. I was like, it's time to insert someone. Because the reason we talked about Alexa Bliss, like when Becky had that dead period, Alexa Bliss was running things.
Yep.
And then they're like, damn, we forgot. You ain't one of the 4. You got to go back to the back. The only one who's been able to
say a knock on the 4 either. Like, it's really not. It's just, you just can't have the same shit. You can't have the same round robin, Vince. You can't have the same freaking 3 people going after the same title for, 6 months straight, Vince. Figure it out, bud.
The only person who's been able to keep up is Asuka.
The only one.
The only one who's been able to keep up with the 4 is
Asuka's the only one. Asuka's the only one. But even now, I'm so sick of the shit. Shout out Ronda, or not Ronda. Might as well be Ronda. Throw her in the bill. Doesn't matter. Rhea, Charlotte, and Asuka. They've done amazing things. They should be insanely proud of themselves. They've done stuff that's never been done before. That's awesome. Just give me something fresh. Shout out Bianca Belair.
No, I agree, man, because we have Bianca as the champ, we have Rhea as the champ, but we already said Rhea's on borrowed time. It's funny too, because I'm afraid, like, whenever Rhea and Bianca, because they're gonna lose to one of these 4, they're not getting that title back.
Not for a while, no.
Yep, not for a long time.
We saw what happened to Rhea when she lost to Charlotte. 2020 was the worst wrestling career of what we saw at Rhea, because 2019, I thought she was white hot, and then it got ruined. Like, it's tough, man. Like, Alexa Bliss is right there, but she's dropped. She needs that title. Like, we have Bianca, we have them. I mean, I don't know who else. Like, we took that chance, as Byron reported back a way long time ago. They took the chance on Peyton. Peyton gave him a fire promo, and then they sent her stuff in a trash bag the next week. So,
yeah, I think they might need to do like another, not give Divas a chance, but give other women wrestlers a chance, because, like Jacob said, I love Becky and I'll, fight for her up to the day. But I mean, at the end of the day, there needs to be new, fresh champions. Like, you can't keep having the same 4 win the championship all the time. Like, yes, they put on great matches, but how do you know other people don't put on great matches if you don't ever give them a chance to shine?
Hypothetical, because these 4 careers are not done. They still have So, which 4 do you think will be counted the more accomplished? These 4 horsewomen or the Ohio Valley wrestling class of 2000 with Cena, Lesnar, Orton, Batista?
These 4. They have Charlotte.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. Because we know Charlotte's not done winning championships. She's probably going to be the first woman to beat Ric Flair's championship record. So
will it be Flair's by the end of the year? Throwing a little preview.
God, I hope not.
I mean, will it be Ric Flair's record by the end of this year? Because you know who's supposed to be coming back.
No, Cena.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll see. I don't think they'll have Roman lose to Cena.
Nope, not happening. Not a chance. Not a chance.
The main of that, for those who don't know, that is the rumor. Which, sweet Jesus, that's gonna. We have Roman versus Cena, the rumored main event for SummerSlam.
I mean, it's going to be a fire match if it actually does happen. Like the last match they had was pretty good. I remember that promo Cena cut on Roman.
That's what I was going to say, Bart. Are they going to let Cena go full off? Because if he does, it might be bad in the promo game.
I mean,
we saw what happened last time.
They should, because it was a fire promo, but I don't think they would because Roman Reigns is a tribal chief now.
Roman Reigns has Paul Heyman now. Like, you want to,
yeah.
Forget Roman, say I'm tribal chief, acknowledge me, dumb shit that he does. But if you want to have John Cena go toe to toe on the mic with Paul Heyman, I'll take that all day, every day, and twice on Sundays.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, because they want to make SummerSlam big, and if that's really, if the rumors are true, and if we're previewing this next month, and it is really Cena versus Roman, Edge versus Rollins, Brock versus Bobby, and there was I know we sent that picture, and Jacob said, "No way in hell are they making all this happen in Las Vegas."
If they really want to bring wrestling back, that SummerSlam will be the way to do it. And those 3 big matches, oh man,
I'll watch.
Of course.
I gotta watch. I gotta watch so I take notes. So I'm fully ready for the reviews.
Right.
But I'll be screaming, man, because once I have someone I like against Roman, all bets are off. Fuck Roman. We don't talk with logic anymore. Because if we get 17, I gotta have a whole separate podcast crying. It's like, man, I was just a little guy in 02. This guy who had no finishing move had to roll up his opponents to win. Didn't think they'd be doing that shit in 2021 with people who have finishing moves. Shout out to Jacob because he was pissed about that. But people out here rolling people up for wins on pay-per-view. What the hell is this world coming to? But yeah, shout out to the 4 horsewomen, man. They're the best. They're the best in the business right now. Women are trying to catch up. If I'm AEW, I would have just showed up when Sasha Banks was gone, I would have showed up to her house and just say, "Hey, here's a blank check. How much do you want? Come to us." I mean, they're all doing their own things. Sasha Banks is branching out. She was on the day of Mandalorian. Her and Bianca got that SB. She's at home chilling. She might have to get called back from vacation early. They're like, "Damn, your best friend got hurt. You got to come back."
Yeah.
I don't know. But speaking of women, Chelsea Green made her debut just 2 days ago, something like that.
Yes.
And as formerly Aleister Black, made his debut in Jacob. Someone at WWE fucked up the contract because Aleister Black has not been released for 90 days.
No, allegedly. This is all alleged from what I've read. That he was on an NXT contract still, where apparently they have a 30-day no compete instead of a 90. So a 30-day hit, he was dropping. He dropped a fire promo movie cut thing of him in an insane asylum, and then shows up to AEW that night, kicks the shit out of Arn Anderson, that kicks the shit out of Cody Rhodes, and it is magical. Malachi Black now with what a name. Yeah, I mean, at first I was like, I don't know, but I was like, oh wait, this isn't WWE. This is good. So I'll take it. Yeah, that's awesome. Chelsea Green, shows up to Ring of Honor, Best in the World pay-per-view. I'm down. She shows up. It's great.
Byron, I know you're not a fan, but how did you feel when Black showed up on AEW right at like a week after his wife came back to WWE?
I'm just saying, how do you, first off, WWE, how do you fuck up Aleister Black? Like, come on. He was so over with the fans. How do you release him to have him go to AEW? He'd say, oh, we're not in competition with AEW, but come on. You're in competition with AEW because it's Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' company. So, of course, you're in competition with him. But, I mean, I love Aleister Black, so I'm happy that he gets to wrestle with AEW. Hopefully, they push him right, better than WWE pushed him. Zelina Vega, congratulations on getting your old job back. Hopefully, you don't fuck this opportunity up again.
Hey, you saw the rumors like months ago. You were already calling it that she's coming back.
I did because they said she was shooting something with Simone, The Rock's daughter.
Oh, well, here comes Jacob. You know what that means.
But that was months ago, so nothing came of it. So I'm like, oh well, maybe she's not coming back. And then what was it? 3 weeks ago, she shows up on Friday Night SmackDown. I'm like, they just fired your husband, but they bring you back. Like, no offense to her. I would rather have Aleister Black, but whatever. Hopefully she does well and is way better than what she was.
I think it's interesting with like all the sweet women they let go, and then you replace them so far with Zelina Vega and Eva Marie.
Yes.
I guess Zelina was replacing herself because she got released, but I mean, when that non-compete ends, you're gonna have the Iconic somewhere, Mickey James somewhere, Chelsea Green's already somewhere. Like, I don't know, man. And now, Jacob, this just happened today. Mandy Rose showed up on NXT out of the blue.
Okay, well, shit, that I heard it here first on the L7C Wrestling Podcast.
But apparently,
boys, I'm telling you, I have been so pissed at WWE. I'll catch the stuff on Facebook. Other than that, I don't pay attention. The Vince McMahon logic shit that I've been making fun of is absolutely just drove me up a wall and just away from WWE. So, okay, well, Mandy Rose is in NXT. Cool. That's actually great for her.
It is. I don't know if she's, again, I don't know what the hell, because she was just on Raw. She was beefing with the tag team champs with Dana Brooke. I don't know if it's something that she's evaluating talent, because she is one of those commercial voices for the, hey, we're going to be in Las Vegas if you want to try out for WWE, because, you know, we fired half our roster, but we want to pay you cheap money because that's the only reason. But yeah, man, it was interesting. And I mean, I like Mandy. And Mandy Rose, I mean, if she just a little bit more effort, and she would be WWE's perfect champion from a looks perspective, a following perspective, get her a good move set, like get her more in ring. She'd be champ for like 3 years.
Yep.
If this was the old days, she'd be a 20-time champ right now. And she wrestles better than most of the old people back then, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's Vince logic. It is. And I don't understand Vince logic. Because you literally just had her on Raw beefing with the tag team champions with Dana Brooke. And then you put her on NXT. Why? Like, what was the point of having her in a storyline if you're going to say, you know what, fuck it. Have her go to NXT.
Byron, speaking of that, since we were talking about NXT, we forgot to mention that we have 3 call-up from NXT women to replace Bayley on SmackDown.
I was going to get to that.
Go ahead, Byron.
Also, okay, I'm cool with Toni Storm going to SmackDown because she hasn't really done anything in NXT since she faced. But did she face Raquel for the NXT Women's Championship, or was that Io?
I thought it was Io.
Yeah, so she hasn't really done anything since she faced Io for the NXT Women's Championship, so that's cool. maybe fresh faces on SmackDown. All for that. I'm also okay with Shotzi going to SmackDown because she hasn't really done anything since her and Ember lost the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. I mean, I thought they were going to get another chance at it with that triple threat match, but they went with Io and Zoe Starks. The problem I have is Tegan Knox. So they bring Tegan Knox back last Tuesday to interfere with the Women's Tag Team Championship with The Way, which is Candice LeRae and what is that girl's name? Indy Hartwell.
Yeah.
Dexter Loomis's girl.
Yeah, Dexter Loomis's girl. So they have her interfere with that match and have The Way lose the NXT Tag Team Championship because she is supposedly beefing with Candice LeRae, who caused her to be injured the last time. Which I'm sure, bring her back, have her interfere, get that rivalry going back. But literally on Friday, they say, you know what? We're going to call you up and have you on SmackDown. What was the purpose of her interfering with the tag team championship match just to have her go to SmackDown? Like, they wanted to bring her SmackDown. Don't even have her show up on NXT. Just have her show up on SmackDown. I don't understand the way WWE does things, and I don't even know if NXT is Vince logic. I don't want to get it. I wish I did. I don't understand why she debuted on Tuesday just to debut again on Friday and become a SmackDown tag team with Shotzi to go after the tag team championship. Also, they changed her name from Tegan Knox to Knox. I hate when they do that. Just keep her as Tegan Knox. What was the point of dropping Tegan just to have her as Knox? What was the point of dropping Blackheart to just have a Shotzi? So now it's just Shotzi and Knox. Oh, WWE logic, man. Like, I love WWE, but some of their stuff is like, bro, what are you doing? And that's my rant for the podcast.
Jacob, how do you feel about those?
Pretty much I'm on par here with Byron. Frickin' WWE logic. Like, just how are you? That pisses me off. How are you going to claim that you have? Oh, we have the third brand that's on par with their other two brands, NXT. You know, we're going to act like NXT UK is not a real thing, by the way. But how are you going to have this third brand? Oh, hey, get invested in this storyline. Oh, hey, Tegan Knox is going to interfere. Oh, hey, boom, she's now Knox. Boom, what storyline? There wasn't shit. She wasn't on Wednesdays or Tuesdays or whatever the hell it is now. God damn it, I hate this stuff. What? Just why? Why? How? This is what I hate about WWE. And this is what has thoroughly just pissed me off so much about this product, especially over the past month, mind you, of literally just insulting our intelligence the entire time. Just, hey, guys, like, it's that scene from Star Wars. Like, these are not the droids you're looking for. Like, this is not the storyline you remember. This is not the same NXT superstar. This is not Tegan Knox. It is Knox. It's always been Knox, you idiot. Like, what are you thinking? Like, fuck me. I'm so sick of this dumb stuff. I've been more invested in AEW, so much more than NXT, because anytime the NXT people get called up, they just get absolutely screwed. Case in point, Nikki Cross. Case in point, Doudrop. Just still pisses me off. And I know it's going to end up being a storyline where she goes, my name's not Doudrop, it's Piper Niven. And it's going to be a whole fucking storyline. It's going to be dumb as shit. And I'm going to be pissed off no matter what. Like, I can't get behind this product. I can't support this.
Case in point, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, don't even get me started on, like, the guys of NXT going to the main roster. Like, how are we as wrestling fans, especially WWE fans, because all three of us are big WWE fans, how are we as fans supposed to be like, yeah, this is good shit. This is good. This is really good. I want to support this. I want to dump money into this.
Well, you know how fed up I was last podcast with the rumors of Cena coming back. I said, John Cena, don't come back and save this shit. Stay at home. I mean, and that's my guy. And I told him, like, yeah, I don't want you because you're gonna come back and you're gonna instantly shoot up ratings. You're gonna make these people money. You should sit back at home. Continue doing your Suicide Squad and all the movies you're doing now, because this shit's trash. And it's like, but if they bring these part-timers to energize the product, and I mean, if you legitimately have a SummerSlam with Edge, John Cena, and Brock Lesnar all on the card, they're gonna make fucking money. And then they're gonna be they're gonna point to this like, we just like, it's the fact too that I think COVID gave them a cloud of arrogance too, because they made over $1 billion off Peacock and 48 million during COVID. It's like, I felt like that gave them some false sense of arrogance where they could throw shit storylines and then forget that you can't just throw shit. And we still don't know what the hell these are. I mean, of course, there's always the rumors of them selling and all that, but we don't report on those until we absolutely know. When it does get sold, if it does get sold, we will have an emergency podcast that day. But
yeah,
please sell it.
If they sell it, I hope whoever does buy them out, I hope they learn from WWE's mistakes, because like some of these storylines are just utter shit. Like they just don't make sense.
Sorry to interrupt you, buddy.
Oh, you're fine. Go ahead.
But also to add, wasn't not yesterday, as in Monday, but last week Monday, that was it set a record for the lowest rating on a Monday Night Raw ever.
1.4 million.
Yeah. I mean, damn. Like, they're just showing how, like, why am I going to invest 3 hours of my week into watching your product that is absolute trash?
Yeah, well, typically for SummerSlam and the big pay-per-views, they do pick it up and make it better. But I would just like it to be more consistent. I mean, we have Buddy Murphy. He talked about how he was uncomfortable. Like we talked about, he was uncomfortable kissing Aaliyah. I said, shit, me too, dude. Like,
we all were. Like, what kind of storyline is this?
Girl barely got her big girl panties on. You're out here kissing a 19-year-old. Like, what are we doing? Like, bro, you were just engaged to Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
He did have a good point though about the 90-day non-compete clause and how WWE does that, so it takes away the hotness of the wrestler and like the momentum. I really like that point because I believe it.
Oh, for sure. Like, luckily, Malachi Black didn't have that 90-day non-complete clause.
I mean, can we talk about how strong the marriage has to be of Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, considering they have now just flip-flopped of, I'm working for the company, you got fired by the company. Oh, hey, now you're working for the company, now I got fired by the company. And yeah, our marriage is going to stay great. So shout out to those two, because that's going to be a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many couples who were working different places till they got released, like Peyton and Dylan. Well,
Sean Spears.
There was obviously Chelsea when she was on WWE, and then
Zack Ryder.
Obviously now, I mean, there was a gym picture of freaking Charlotte and Andrade wearing WWE AEW hats. Like, that was wild.
That's a big one. Also, Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
Back, shout out to my girl. I mean, when Lana was on WWE and Miriam was on AEW, so that was one too. But yeah, man, to them, they probably treat it like normal jobs, because when you're with your spouse, y'all don't work the same job typically, so they probably just treat it like that. It's just, they're on TV and they have.
See you when I get home.
Yeah, see you when I get home, and see. Oh man, looking through the things like, babe, you lost a dewdrop on a roll up to make it no less.
Are you just trying to get me pissed off again?
That's funny.
The bad thing is, man, wrestling is one of those things, but no matter how bad it is, you have so much to talk about.
Yeah, it gives you great content.
gives you great content to rant, and then like when it's good, you're just like, oh shit, they did something good. Life is good. But then you get in the repeated circle of really good shit, messed up.
Really,
Someone gets hurt, trash. The old person comes back to inject life. Repeat.
So someone gets fired. That's
Someone gets
thing.
fired. I just saw something today that Justin, the producer, says like the reason Mandy came on NXT is potentially because Dana might get released.
Oh shit, she probably will. Who knows? At this point, just release everybody. Screw it.
Just keep the four horsewomen and Asuka and Rhea and Bianca.
As long as you got Rhea, Asuka, and Charlotte, you're golden. You don't need anyone else.
Oh Lord, help us. Oh boy. But man, that's it for the man. What a good episode, guys. Good as but Jacob, what are some final words you got before we sign off? And we'll be back to review Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple things I can rant. I can still keep talking about. So first off, shout out to Bandito for winning the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, taking it off Roosh. Good stuff. Glad to see it. Second off, last Friday, AEW put up the tickets for All Out in Chicago. They finally put the tickets up for sale. I would like to say from the bottom of my heart, screw you if you use a bot to buy tickets and resell the goddamn tickets. Point in case, my wife and I went to get tickets. My wife was in the queue. She was number 400. I was number 2,000. But okay, wife's number 400. We should be good. They're setting a limit, quote unquote, to be able to buy tickets. My wife gets on there. Guess what? Every ticket's sold out.
Wow.
Every time she go to click on something, and there was only a couple things. It was, oh, another fan beat you. Oh, another fan beat you. Oh, another fan beat you. And I'll be damned. Not later that day, I type in AEW All Out tickets. Damn, they're all double the freaking price on freaking, what's the hub site? The StubHub. Yeah, they're all double the price on there. So you know what? Piss on all you people. I hope you break your ankle like Conor McGregor. I hate you all dearly.
Yeah, scalpers are the worst, man.
That's my words. Also, AEW, just get a bigger arena for the love of God. Just get a bigger arena. I appreciate the fact AEW does have like very reasonable price tickets, but piss on everyone who scalps them and just screws over everyone else. Piss on you.
Anything else you got, Jacob? Is that it?
I mean, I can keep going. You guys just want me to keep going? I can talk about how I hate WWE right now and how they're just constantly insulting our logic. But I pretty much said that earlier multiple times. So, Byron, thanks for coming on, buddy.
You're welcome.
It's always nice to see you. So we're gonna end my rants on a good note. Thanks, buddy, for showing up.
Oh, you're welcome. I love coming on this podcast because I feel like we all think the same. So it's just fun just to basically rant about WWE for an hour.
Also, shout out to you, Martin. Shout out to you, buddy, because I might be the guy who's constant, who's all me and you are always on here, but like you're the guy who like texts me and go, hey, when do you want to do a podcast? And we always make it work. So shout out to you, buddy. You're the man, bud.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, I love wrestling. I mean, if I think of like the three things that I know outside of like maybe basketball at the top of my head, like with my heart, it's wrestling, Dragon Ball Z, and Yu-Gi-Oh. So I mean, like that stuff that I can argue with anyone about would be those three things. But I mean, I love it. I mean, to be honest, I could do a wrestling podcast almost every day because I feel like because we already know it's going to happen. I mean, we're going to finish. It's going to get sent to Justin, and then some breaking news is going to happen either right when we're done or tomorrow morning.
Facts. Why are we so cursed every time?
Because when we don't record, nothing happens. After we record, everything happens.
Facts.
Byron, go ahead, man.
Oh, I mean, I'm just happy to be here. Love hanging out with you guys and talking wrestling. Scrolling through Twitter just to make sure there's no breaking news. Appearing Karrion Kross attacked Samoa Joe. So that's probably going to be a thing.
That's not good for him. That's not good.
No, it's not good for him.
No, that's not, because he's been on main event. He's been doing dark matches.
Scarlett's been practicing for SmackDown. I think they're gonna make the debut soon too.
Oh God! Well, Karrion, it's been good, buddy. Well, I guess I'm not getting my Demon Balor versus Karrion Kross match I've been wanting forever. I kind of hate WWE.
Speaking of Demon, where the fuck is Finn Balor? That's a whole other comment.
Vacation.
Well, yeah, he deserved it.
He should come back.
I thought he was going to be a Money in the Bank. I thought he was going to win Money in the Bank.
That would have been fire. I mean, there's still time. Brock Lesnar came back at the last minute and won.
Yeah, that was a scary sight. I heard his music. I didn't think it was real. Well, what do you got?
Beatbox Brock Lesnar.
Beatbox.
I don't have anything else. I think Money in the Bank is going to be good. I know there's probably going to be something woozy that's going to happen, and it's probably going to piss one of us off. We'll be back for the review. But I think Roman Reigns and Edge is probably going to steal the show, if nothing big surprises happen.
I agree. I'm excited for Money in the Bank just for the fact that since it's a bigger pay-per-view, watching it with people, obviously, because then we get real life reactions. And depending on how shocking, because I know we do our wrestling podcast every 2 weeks, but depending on how shocking Money in the Bank is, you're probably going to hear, if it's super shocking, you're going to hear from me, Byron, and Jacob next week. If it's like that shocking, because, yeah, we don't want to miss momentum there. We want to talk about tickets because Nationwide ruined this before WWE announced it. Extreme Rules is going to be in Columbus, Ohio at Nationwide, which I'm actually very excited for. I know it's not the greatest pay-per-view, but it's a chance for us to be in a crowd with wrestling fans and feeding off that energy. And so those tickets went on sale, I think, today. So I'm going to be monitoring them, making sure so before I get tickets for that Sunday, because that'd be super exciting to be back in those crowds, because there's nothing like a whole live wrestling crowd sold out. Nothing like it. So
I was so excited to go to the SmackDown after WrestleMania, then COVID happened.
Yeah, I was too. Messed it all up. But no, man, with that being said, man, thanks Byron for coming on.
Of course.
Thanks Jacob for being Mr. Consistent with the podcast. There's always a Jacob podcast every 2 weeks, so that can always be counted on. After the Money in the Bank review, I know he's going to be editing this, so I'm already going to say it. Next month, let's get that Royal Rumble team back on here. Producer Justin Ackendale, get on the SummerSlam preview. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Because that Royal Rumble preview was probably one of my favorite podcasts I've recorded this year.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the Royal Rumble preview one because that was Jacob saw Justin's true emotional hate for Goldberg.
Yeah,
I did too. I did not know he hated that man that much.
So, yeah,
Goldberg and Patrick.
I'm throwing it out there. You're gonna be editing this anyway to our great producer Justin Ackendale. Either get on the Money in the Bank review, but get on the SummerSlam preview, man. Let's get the four of us on here and really go to town, because if that SummerSlam card is what it is, we need everyone on here.
Bet.
And with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you check out Money in the Bank this Sunday at 8 p.m. Don't know why it's at 8, because typically they've been doing it at 7, but whatever. But we're going to see who wins these briefcases. We might see cash-ins. We might see build-up storylines. Like, let's go. we're almost at SummerSlam, so this is the L7C. Take care, everyone.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.